What's up, everyone? Now I'm going to show you a trick with the RSI. I've been talking about it in the group a lot, how to chart gaps and then create another RSI on the chart that you can basically reference with the real RSI. I know that sounds confusing, but I'm going to try to show it to you right here, right now on the 20-minute time frame with SPY. This does work on various time frames. You have to cycle through them and see which one matches up with the current RSI, and that's what we're going to do. So I have the candles set to white and the background for after hours set to purple because fuck it, why not? They just added the ability to customize it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to first turn off the MACD and turn on the RSI. Now I have my RSI set up weird, but I'm going to go ahead and put it back to normal for this video to not confuse anybody. We're just going to keep on the RSI 14, which is the standard RSI. Now what we're going to do is starting on the 20-minute, or actually starting on the daily, right? We see a gap, okay? But let's say you wanted to trade the 20-minute. So what you can do is the 20-minute, and you look for a corridor of gaps, which we can see right here. We found our corridor immediately. So what we do is we draw a horizontal line, one at the bottom of the gap above, right here, and the gap is 425.85. So let's go ahead and change that value. 425.85, you want to be spot on. And then you want to put another line on the top of the bottom gap right here, which this one would be the top 420.99. Perfect. So what we've essentially done is we've just created, I'm going to go ahead and turn these after hours lines off. We've essentially just created a line. Now, did you notice when I turned off the after hours how the line shifted up a little bit? I'm going to show you that again. Turn this back on, and the gap widens a little bit. Turn it off, and the gap slightly offsets because gaps occur after hours. So it's always good to have these on. So I just wanted to show that to you, that it does affect it if you turn after hours off. But essentially here, what we've done is we've created an RSI. Now, if we go and turn that off again, does it match up better or worse? Matches up about actually a little better. So it may be wise to turn it off just to see if you do get a nice match, because if we turn it on, the RSI is a little different, right? It's showing oversold like right on the line here, but if we turn it back on, or turn it back off rather, then the RSI all of a sudden is just slightly above that oversold mark. So anyways, what we can see here is this being the RSI. Let's go ahead and make this our 70 mark here, or overbought, because that's what an RSI is. 70 is overbought, 30 is oversold. This is going to be our 30. So we have our 70 and our 30. I'm going to make the oversold line is going to be green, because that's when you would want to buy. This is going to be red. And now we have our support and resistance, which also happen to be our gaps. Now, if you look at this and you look at the RSI, what do you see? Well, you see basically the same thing. This right here is basically oversold. So you know that if it goes to this line or below it, it's technically an oversold territory. If it goes here, it's likely going to be an overbought territory on this time frame. That is all I am doing. And it's all relative to the time frame. So now you know on the 20-minute time frame, if you wanted to buy calls, you likely could, because again, we're sitting at the bottom of this zone here, and likely speaking, you're probably going to get a nice uptrend back up to maybe here, 423, or maybe it'll go the whole way. The point is, this is your chance to make money on the 20-minute. Now if we go to the daily, same lines are still there, but we got to adjust because we're on a different psychological time level. So what we're going to do, I'm going to move these lines down. Remember, we look for corridors. So the corridor on the daily, the support would be right here, the top of the gap below, and the support would actually be right here. This gap is way down there. I'm going to mark this purple. So we only have one gap on the daily. Nope, there it is right there. Okay, perfect. There's our 70. So bottom of this gap is our 70. Top of this gap is our 30. Same thing we did on the 20-minute. but on a different time frame. Now we look at the RSI. Does it look the same as the real RSI that we just created on the chart? It sure does. Isn't that crazy? This right here matches this right here. And I'm going to demonstrate it by turning the candles to a line chart. Now I want you to picture that red line as the 70, this one right here, and then look at the RSI. It's the same thing, right? That's exactly what I've been saying. That's all I've been saying. So now, despite the RSI showing that way down here is oversold, or actually it would technically be right here from when this trend up started, the real oversold, or probably how low it'll go, is right there to the gap, and then it will continue upwards. So hope that helped, but maybe training it to a line chart would help. Let's go back to the 20-minute and see what it looks like. Gaps don't show up on the 20-minute, I don't think, on lower time frames, so you do have to switch back to candles first before you can actually view it. Let's move these back where they were. This one here. And then where's that lower one? Right there. And then turn this back to a line. And then look, it's basically the same thing. And if you turn off after hours, it is the same thing. The amount of space here is the same as the amount of space here. And that's all I'm doing. That's all it is. Nothing's fancy, nothing smart, nothing special. Just observation, placing lines on charts where gaps are, and matching these two lines up with these two lines on the RSI. So these two lines here, these two yellow dotted lines, you're essentially creating that right here. That's all you're doing. And if it matches what you see here, boom, you just found the trend, or where the price could potentially go. Good shit.